2 years. I waited 2 years to see this movie in theaters, and I must say I was pleased with what I saw. And what I'm talking about is The Toxic Avenger. I'm talking about the 2023 horror comedy Toxic Avenger. This isn't about Troma's Toxic Avenger with the same name. This is the retelling that Legendary Studios, a division of Warner Brothers, I believe, their version of it. This is directed by one of my favorite directors of the past couple years. He directed one of my favorite A24 movies, probably one of the most sleeper hit movies of A24, Green Room. Check it out. Very good. But this is directed by Macone Blair. Very good work. I would say he knocked it out of the park with the Toxic Avenger movie that was retold. Peter Dinklage is in this movie as well. He basically plays a janitor that is a social outcast that basically finds out that he doesn't have much time to live and then somehow falls into a chemical, turning him into the Toxic Avenger, the only superhero from New Jersey. And I'm talking about the old Toxic Avenger tagline. If you've never watched Troma, never heard of Troma, then what are you doing on here? This isn't about Marvel's Avengers or, spoiler alert, Thunderbolts is the new Avengers. This is about Tromaville and Troma. This has got to be probably the first, maybe one of the first times that they've been able to take a Troma property and convert it over to more of a general mainstream audiences. If you go look back at the history of Troma, you would kind of just see that they wouldn't have a really big budget for the films they make, for the raunchy humor, the practical effects, and overall, distributors would not put their money into that because of just everything that Troma stands for and what they do. If you know, you know. If you don't, well then, let me just kind of tell you what they stand for. They've been the only independent movie studio out of New Jersey for the past, I believe, 50 or 40 years, and which is pretty freaking impressive for what they are, what they stand for. They've made thousands of films. There is a bit of something for everybody, but overall, I want to talk about the Toxic Avenger here because I gotta say, for what they took and how they kind of had to retell it in his own sense, it worked every level. Every now and then there's a little bit of kind of nods over here, and I did have a couple issues with the CGI blood, but for the most part, they got the main point of the Toxic Avenger. Being raunchy, being gross, being obscure, being all of this, but without pushing it too much and having it for, like I said, a mainstream audience. I'm not going to get much into the first Toxic Avenger, but for today's audiences, let me just tell you, it would not pass. It would basically, and I'm using air quotes because there's no such thing as this, canceled by today's standards. If you're looking back at the original Toxic Avenger, some of the themes, the dialogue, and some of the scenes were just like, what in the fuck? For the sake of just being gross and grotesque and edgy and raunchy. I get it. It's Troma, it's what they do, like I've said. I'm beating a dead horse here at this point. For overall, like I said, from turning this from a 1980s movie to a modern take, this is done really good. This is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. People will see through the lines and just be like, wow, that was probably the worst piece of crap I've ever seen. People will come up and say that, and that's fine, you know? Troma isn't for everybody, this movie isn't for everybody. This is basically a limited run movie for just this weekend that I'm recording of this. And like I said, I went on Friday opening night to go see this with a packed correction. Maybe about 20 to 25 people, maybe 4 to 5 of those being women. Not that there's nothing wrong, it's just you usually don't see women much in these Troma movies. But hey, shout out to all the they, them, and the women gonna go see these movies with their boyfriend or any of that stuff, because you guys are the real MVPs for that. Like I said before, this movie is really gory, very raunchy. This basically got distributed by Cineverse Corporation, the people behind the Terrifier movies that release, entertainment company that's just kind of putting out these movies in theaters for a limited time. They're based off of California. They do a lot of work with Bloody Disgusting. Good for them for being able to put out this movie in distribution, because it's been about 2 years since this movie has just been trying to find somewhere to go, somewhere to be put out, somewhere to just distribute and be seen by audiences. When the movie was first being screened, the test audience gave it a really good positive feedback, and at that point they were looking to distribute distribute it. It got pushed back. Somebody took it. Somebody didn't take it. They got cold feet. It was going to Netflix. It was going to theaters. A big mess for it overall. I guess the Toxic Avenger itself was a big mess in itself. I really enjoy it. Like I've said, there's so many elements of this movie without having to push it too far. I love the fact that instead of calling it Tromaville, it's Saint Romaville, which is just a nice little nod, and all these little Easter eggs in it as well. I've probably watched maybe about 5 or 6 Troma movies my whole life, those being half of the Toxic Avenger movies, I believe up until the third one. Poultrygeist, Tromeo and Juliet. I vaguely remember the Toxic Crusaders as a child. I did have a Toxie figure or something of that sort, but I do remember running into it so many times. And yeah, the franchise ended up being a cartoon in the 90s called the Toxic Crusaders. Toxic Crusaders. There's also a video game that came out. It's more of the sense of I started watching YouTube and trying to know about these movies after going through my list of top 10, movies of this and so. Started finding out more obscure stuff. Then one day a coworker of mine was like, have you ever heard of Troma? Then one day he showed me the movie Poultrygeist, and then that's it. It just pretty much went downhill from there at that point. Overall, this movie definitely breathes in a whole new light for the franchise. I guess you could say that, since there's been about 4 movies with this and a crossover with Sergeant Kabuki Man as well too. I really enjoy the Toxic Avenger from 2023. I'm so glad that we were able to finally be able to see it. I was being scared for a bit, thinking we're never gonna see it, or the only way we're gonna see it is probably through a streaming service like Screambox or Shudder, which I wouldn't have mine at that. But the point is just that they don't make these kind of movies like that anymore. And I know there's a sense of, well, there's gory movies and all that, but there's not raunchy movies like that. There isn't those type of bad, good for the sake of movies of that. In the sense of, well, they can't really do that anymore. Yes, they can. With what I see, what worked with the original Toxic Avenger and what worked with the 2023 one, both definitely did their part in entertaining, in having good laughs, having some freaking sick ass effects, and overall some great stuff to both fans of a new generation and an old generation as well. One of the coolest things that I've seen the Toxic Avenger do as well too is there would be able to eliminate somebody's unpaid medical and student death. With every $1 million at the box office during the week of its release, they're eliminating that debt in general to people that are unable to pay it, have issues with bills and all that stuff. So it's good to see something good coming out of this movie as well too. We're not just also seeing a great Hollywood production movie, low budget, gory, raunchy horror movie production like with Troma and with Legendary Pictures partnering up with them for this, but we're just seeing the fact that instead of taking the budget for the marketing for the movie, they decided to do something good with it. So it's good to see that they were actually putting some good into this as well. I gotta just say, go see the Toxic Avenger if you love a dark horror comedy, any of those vibes. If you enjoy Troma, if you enjoy sci-fi, if you enjoy just a bad, good movie in general, please go watch it, go stream it, go do what you can to see this movie. This needs to be seen by people that enjoy to be entertained. This is a good popcorn movie. This is what we need out right now. Shout out to Cineverse for being able to distribute this. I can't thank them enough. We were out there showing support for Terrifier 1 and 2, and the amount of reputation and amount of just media that their third one got is insane just for that as well. There is an audience for this. There is a craving. People will show up if you just put it out there. They will. Just have faith in the fans. They will show up for your movie. They will show up for this if you put your mind to it. I really love this franchise. I really love Troma. I've talked about Troma so much in these past couple videos, but you need to understand these movies really do make an impact for new directors, writers, everybody. Somebody out there saw the Toxic Avenger as a child and eventually right now working on a film of their own or etc. There's these types of movies that you want to show future directors that anything is possible. You put your mind to it. You put your back, sweat, and blood, sweat, and tears into this. I know what I said. If you show that this stuff is possible, if you really put your mind to it, if you really work hard, it's possible, and there will be an audience to show up, believe in what you're doing, that you're writing, that you're directing, that whatever. It's just amazing to see that we're getting this type of movie, because I, like I said, was honestly scared we'd never be able to see this movie in the light of day. But here we are. And I enjoyed every second of the film as well. I laughed my ass off. I was entertained. I had a great time. Made me want to rewatch some more Troma movies and just more of the Toxic Avenger. They did mention the fact that they probably do have some planned sequels, but overall they're trying to wait to see how this goes. So please, if you're watching this, anybody at Cineverse, anybody at Troma, please, thank you guys so much for everything you've done. Please, there is a hope for sequel. Please, just find a way to make this all happen, and we will show up. We will do what we can with this, but please, I advise everybody go check it out if you can. It's worth a laugh. It's worth a good Friday night movie with the boys. It's worth this type of stuff. It's good horror. It's good stuff overall that I really enjoy, and I really love a lot of movies, but this one definitely took the cake for me on just the fact we were able to see it. We were able to just have it on the big screen. I was able to watch this movie with about 25 people, which was insane. When I first got there, maybe about 10, 12 people, then everybody just started rolling in. Everybody was having a good time, laughing, and just enjoying it. The blood, the guts, the Easter eggs. It was a great time overall. So just thank you everybody for that. In general, I'm very happy to see it, and I think I'm gonna go home and watch Green Room right now, because that's probably like one of my favorite movies. Macomb Blair directed as well too. If you haven't checked it out, please do so as well too. Patrick Stewart is a menace of a villain in that movie, and every time he's on screen, oh my god, just the suspense in that movie is so good overall. But like I said, go watch Toxic Avenger 2023 and go watch the original Troma Toxic Avenger, and don't forget to watch Green Room as well too. Anywho, I'm blabbing on so much. I'm out of here. Go click on another video. If you guys haven't, like, comment, and subscribe, please do. Helps the channel. Share this video around. Do what you can. Go click on another video. It helps with the algorithm. Thank you very much, everybody, for sticking around and listening to me yap. I'll see y'all in the next one. This wasn't a planned video, but we're just rolling with it with the punches. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, have a good morning, have a good evening. I will see you next time. Till then, I'm your boy Gribs138, signing off. Okay, bye.